There are only 3 ages for women in Hollywood: babe, district attorney, and driving Miss Daisy.
There are a lot of movies and shows about, well, movies and shows. And many stories specifically highlight the figure of the actress.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
But this frequently isn't that flattering of a portrait. On screen, the typical actress character is vain and self-absorbed, sometimes even incapable of caring about anything other than her career and herself.
Audition, though I'm sure you mean no offense. In the actual world of entertainment, I'm what's known as offer only.
She's also obsessed with celebrity and will step on anyone to get to the fame she wants.
Do you think Meryl Streep and Kaylee Cuoco became stars just because they're the best?
Yes.
No. It's because they wanted it the most.
She's fragile and insecure.
You're very good at auditions.
As good as the girls who get parts.
Fame makes the actress vulnerable to others and her own vanities. And she's fixated on youth, which is understandable in her industry where middle age is often seen as a professional death.
What's too old?
That's a very good question. How old are you?
I'm 29.
What year were you born?
1977.
When did you graduate high school?
94.
As she ages, she might end up losing touch with reality.
I didn't know you were planning a comeback.
It's a return. A return to the millions of people who've never forgiven me for deserting the screen.
Too often, the actress character is an outlet for misogyny, written as a caricature of female stereotypes or reflecting society's desires of her to exist solely as a beautiful thing to project onto.
I'm nothing but a body with a voice, no mind.
Until the mid-1600s, only men were allowed on stage. Academics Raquel Serrano Gonzalez and Laura Martinez Garcia write that when the first actresses appeared on stage, they were cause for deep social anxiety.
That woman is a woman!
Quote, theater gave women a voice to air grievances and to contest, through their own bodies, traditional gender roles. So the actress's very existence has historically been a point of tension. She's a reflection of what it means to be a woman in her time and articulates conflicting ideals of womanhood.
I get up there and whatever I say, it's like, what are we saying about women?
Here's our take on the actress trope, a reflection of how society views women and our deep-rooted anxieties around them.
You hate me. Then you sleep with me. Then you want nothing to do with me. Now you want me again?
What, so you never went out with an actress before?
If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified about all of our new videos. I want to thank Noom for sponsoring today's video. Noom is a program that uses psychology and science to help people live the healthy, fulfilling lives they deserve. Noom pairs you with a personal coach to cheer you on, a custom course to help you reach your goals, and new recipes using ingredients you love. To start living your healthiest life, click the link in our description below and take Noom's free online evaluation quiz.
She's not a whore.
But she's an actress.
Ever since her 17th century premiere, the actress has been inherently connected to sex.
Is it true you wear nothing in bed except perfume?
Professor of Women's Performance Studies Jillian Bush Bailey says that anxieties arising from women working in an openly commercial and wholly public sphere quickly led to parallels with prostitution, a link that has endured for generations in a patriarchal society employing the binaries of private-public, virgin whore as its constructs of femininity.
You know, in over 50% of languages, the word for actress is the same as the word for prostitute.
Feminist film theorist Laura Mulvey wrote in 1975 that the actress's role is titillation. She is required for what Mulvey called her be-looked-atness.
Hey, I just want to take another look at you.
Somewhat contentiously, Mulvey states that the actress is merely an object of male desire.
Why not simply rely on your natural talents?
Are you saying you don't want me to act?
Will you just try to be sexy? Isn't that what you do?
The ideal of the young, beautiful starlet is really to be a blank screen.
I was the actress, the star, and he didn't see me as something separate from himself.
Onto which the typically male director can project his genius vision.
My crazy ideas are her favorite things to figure out how to execute. Let's try it crawling, but also standing.
In many ways, the beautiful actress playing an actress is a symbol of female obedience. Movies train us to idolize the submissive, direction-taking actress character over the unpredictable, loud personality.
Can a girl get a word in edgewise? After all, they're my public too.
Lena, the publicity department, Rod here, thought it would be much better if Don made all the speeches for the team.
In Mank, Amanda Seyfried's nuanced portrayal of Marion Davies teases apart the dichotomy present in the actress, a smart woman who's treated like a puppet.
Marion would have been perfection.
Marion Antoinette.
It was Irving's picture. It takes kind of
Marionette.
Though Marion is revealed to be subtly powerful and aware of the power dynamics around her, she's dismissed as though she doesn't have any agency and is just her wealthy husband's doll.
She's taking her playpen to Warner Brothers.
Besides, her pictures haven't made a dime in a decade.
But she's savvy enough to know it benefits her to lean into this perception.
I hate shop talk. I never know what's going on.
Aside from sexuality, youthful innocence, and even ignorance are also adored attributes in the actress. Enter the ingenue.
Would you not rather have your precious little ingenue?
This stock character, from the French for innocent or ingenuous, can be seen in Restoration plays as a pretty but not too intelligent or savvy potential love interest for the central gallant character. The ingenue character evolved into our modern understanding of the naive young actress or starlet.
Of course, I'd rather be known as a great actress than a movie star. But, you know, sometimes people end up being both. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited to be here.
In other words, she's vulnerable and malleable.
Could you possibly use me in a picture, Mr. McGuire? Of course, I haven't had much experience, but I don't think that really matters if you're willing.
Yet her natural beauty and sweet, innocent nature aren't enough to grant her immediate Hollywood success.
You either follow my rules or follow my rules. Capiche?
Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks.
I can do it a different way.
No, that's fine. Thank you very much.
She must endure both a mental and physical transformation. Her makeover chisels her into the object of our desire. She also often has to change her name to accept her call to adventure.
Esther Victoria Blodgett. He will have to do something about that right away. Vicky Lester.
This forfeiting of her identity is a nod to the ways in which many real-life actresses, and women in general, have had to sacrifice aspects of their authentic selves to conform to cultural expectations.
I would never change my appearance for vanity, but I mean, the doctor said that it could possibly improve my talent.
It's also a reminder to female audiences that the on-screen icons we're expected to live up to weren't born as these polished, glamorous beings, but go through grueling and painful processes to achieve this extreme level of desirability.
And the documents that prove Monroe had plastic surgery.
And then it gets into 1950, she had a cartilage implant to her chin.
She might also undergo a moral makeover as the ingenue gains the worldly wisdom or less than pretty savvy needed to get ahead in the cutthroat world of show business. In some iterations, we meet the shadow ingenue or dark ingenue exemplified by Eve in All About Eve, who's revealed to have never been innocent but a cutthroat fame seeker all along.
If I play Cora, Addison will never tell what happened, in or out of print. A simple exchange of favors.
Bowfinger parodies how this ruthless ingenue is often perceived to take advantage of the casting couch in Heather Graham's Daisy, a seemingly fresh-faced ingenue who's revealed to be a shrewd opportunist ready to sleep her way to the top.
Don't worry about the scenes.
The scenes?
If we're gonna shoot the new scenes. It's so hard to make love, to give yourself to a man, and that he would not prevent the added scenes of yours from being shot.
We're doing the scenes.
You're single, lonely, and doing this ridiculous role because you can't live without being in the spotlight. Nobody wants you anymore. Nobody's watching you anymore.
As a culture, we're taught to fixate on youth and fear female aging. And as the actress's body changes and her culturally accepted beauty fades, she's punished with dwindling roles.
I'm 42 years old. I don't want to be dressed like a dead woman. Can you understand that?
In this way, she's representative of all women who lose cultural cachet when they lose their looks or figures.
Her, sell-by date was finished.
The beautiful young actress seems to us an image of invincibility.
You stand there with your 22-year-old skin and your tits like rocks and laughing.
But as we watch even this woman prove vulnerable to the march of time, we're forced to acknowledge that no amount of money or fame can stop this fall.
You may change this star anytime you want for a new and fresh and exciting one.
A number of films about the actress focus on the passage of youth and beauty, the accompanying loss of the actress's success, and her inability to let go of her former glory.
You're Norma Desmond. Used to be in silent pictures, used to be big.
I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
As actress and director Ida Lupino put it, Hollywood careers are perishable commodities, yet the actresses we see on screen rarely accept this.
You see, this is my life. It always will be. There's nothing else. Just us. And the cameras.
It's true that a number of famous actresses in cinema history have ended up becoming recluses, while tales like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane and Sunset Boulevard portray the faded actress as a grotesque monster driven to insanity over the loss of her career.
Miss Big Fat Movie Star! Miss Rotten Stinking Actress!
The actress character can be written to be hyper-aware of this ageist, sexist cycle in Hollywood and in our world at large.
Somebody told me we look ridiculous together. Now, how do you think that makes me feel? Go find someone your own age, Madeline.
Both Opening Night and The Clouds of Sils Maria explore how, as the actress gains life experience, she may get better at her craft, but she also becomes encumbered, less free.
You can't be as accomplished as you are and as well-rounded as an actress as you are and still expect to hold on to the privileges of youth. It just doesn't work like that.
As The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw observed, in Opening Night, Myrtle is scared that if she does too well playing the older woman, then that is what she must resign herself to being, in art as in life.
I'm not ready to play grandmothers yet. Once you're convincing in a part, the audience accepts you as that. As what? As old, that's what.
In stories of the aging diva, there's often a shadow ingenue whose goal is to steal the established actress's career out from under her.
Don't you know that part was written for Margot?
It might have been 15 years ago. It's my part now.
Or the tension might be between two aging actresses at war.
Are you threatening me? Worse, I'm gonna steal this picture right out from under your nose, and you know I can do it.
Either way, the assumption is there isn't space for two successful women. We also see the idea that women become outdated when they step out of an industry to have kids or get married. We're often shown how the actress struggles with motherhood, expressing broader anxiety over whether the working woman is living up to her natural female duties.
I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you all those years. I thought my Emmy win was the highlight of my life. But reconnecting with you is the real climax.
The most famous example of this narrative is Mommy Dearest, based on the autobiography of Joan Crawford's adopted daughter, Christina.
What have you done to this damn... Sorry!
Crawford's inability to be maternal is explored further in Feud.
We'll see how her reviews are, and then we'll think about sending flowers.
And her cruelty has become such an iconic horror story that it works its way into other movies about actresses.
How would you like to have Joan Crawford for a mother? Or Lana Turner?
Don't make me into Mommy Dearest.
This recurring theme of actresses being bad mothers sends the message that a woman can't have it all.
Préfère avoir une mauvaise mère, une mauvaise amie, et une bonne actrice.
Or that a successful woman must make the cold decision to put her career over her children.
Someone who tried to love you the only way she knew how.
I know that speech. You do? Yeah, it was the Thanksgiving show.
Stories about the actress consistently imply that she has to give up all other aspects of life to have a show business career.
The things you drop on your way up the ladder so you can move faster. You forget you'll need them again when you get back to being a woman.
On the surface, the actress trope is a cautionary tale. She's often isolated and unhappy because it's implied that she has to give up too much of herself to be successful in her career.
Why don't I have any self-respect?
You're an actress, honey.
But on a deeper level, the actress is like a literal representation of the way we ask women to be an impossible Venn diagram of all our expectations at once. She goes from role to role in which she's valued for being directed by someone else. And she's faced with misogyny and ageism in every aspect of her career.
No one was buying you living with these kids. So now, it's 2 young girls and 2 young guys, and you're the aunt who lives upstairs.
I know it's my turn to do the dishes, but I'm in character. And if you make me do the dishes, I will kill myself!
There's no acting without drama, but the actress is often painted as overdramatic, hysterical, or, as Daniel Radcliffe put in 2007 when he said he would never date one, just insane.
I bet you only date hot actresses.
God, no. I'd never date an actress.
They're all crazy.
Even when she's pushing back for moral, ethical, or legitimate personal reasons.
But Deanna, having a child without a father would present a public relations problem for the studio. The aquatic pictures do very nicely for us.
So you go and strap on a fish ass and marry Arnie Seslem.
She's written off as difficult to work with, her career often suffering in ways that men are less likely to experience.
If I'm being honest, I can't recommend her. She can be a little difficult.
Yet in some classic examples, and increasingly today, we see more down-to-earth or well-rounded portrayals of actresses who, wait for it, really care about acting.
What do you want?
To be an actress? It's all I ever wanted in the whole world.
We're actors. When we say yes, we do the bloody job.
This more realistic actress character can be a hardworking, creative woman who treats acting as a serious craft.
There is no excuse for unprofessionalism.
And career.
The skill you're gonna need if you wanna really work and get steady work is to make shitty writing mean something.
She may position herself on equal footing with directors and producers, and eventually prove she can thrive in these roles too.
She got an Emmy nomination.
She's a great actress.
No, for directing.
In Barry, actress Sally is a comic send-up of all the actress cliches. She's seeking fame, over-emotional, and obsessed with herself.
So many other women have the same story. What, am I a spokesperson for them now? Could I be the face of the movement?
But she's also motivated by a deep love of her profession. In Sally's storyline, we see the pull that actresses can face between the art and business of acting. She wants badly to be a good actor and tell the truth in her work.
It's my fault. I shouldn't have called you that. I hold him, and I can feel his shame burning.
But also sense that to succeed in the acting game, it's more important to give the audience the comforting lies they want.
I'll talk to who I please, when I please. You don't own me, you prick.
In Better Things, Pamela Adlon's Sam is a skilled, versatile actor who's managed to carve out a steady career in a frequently unglamorous and disheartening industry. The mother of three also disproves the cliche that the actress isn't maternal, even if her life can be chaotic.
Amanda, will you give me a break? I have 3 of them, and you know I work.
And as a human being, Sam is aspirational, open, hilarious, and searching as she offers us countless windows into beautiful moments, experiences, and people.
Oh my God! Woo! Yeah, Mom!
When we peek behind the curtain at the actress, we feel a sense of closeness to her as a real person, just like us. We can see that celebrity is a transient state.
Fame thing isn't really real, you know. I'm also just a girl.
For a brief time, it seems attainable, accessible, and we can almost feel it bestowing on us its beauty, power, and Keanu Reeves-like eternal youth.
I've listened backstage to people applaud. It's like waves of love coming over the footlights.
So in this video, we look at various tropes and stereotypes of how actresses are portrayed on screen and how that reflects our society's views of women. Why do you think that we enjoy movies and shows about movies and shows?
Well, there's something kind of meta, we're sort of getting this insider look into the making of, the world of.
We narrativize our own lives. So if you draw attention to the construct of the story, it makes you more aware of which story am I, framing my life as. Do I want to be in an assassin action thriller or a tragedy, or do I want to be in a rom-com or a more experimental film?
We do cast roles. We cast roles for people in our lives, and that places a high expectation on them too, that they may not live up to. I mean, think about WandaVision a little bit, right? And how she sort of casts her family in order to shield herself from the trauma and also to find the happiness that she envisions. There's something really specific about the depictions of actresses, right? Has it changed? Are we sort of reinterpreting the character, the stereotypical character of the actress?
Can no one find nude photos of me on the internet?
And I think that looking kind of in a positive way at these sort of self-referential or self-aware moments.
We're closing with Emma Watson for the young mom, so that should be fun.
It is casting a spotlight on the idea of aging and women, and I see a lot of opportunity and growth for there. It's happening partly because more women are hopefully continuing to have the conversation, be behind a camera.
A lot of our favorite ones and recent ones are more about the craft of acting and what is the value of acting or drama. I really like the episode of Better Things where Sam Fox is teaching her students about an actor's greatest asset is their weakness.
You gotta toughen up in life and get weaker in the scenes.
People are weak. Whatever your fears are, whatever you suck at, that's what people want to see when you're playing people.
We think that strength or confidence is what draws people to us, but actually we relate to seeing people's flaws and what they lack and their pain.
Vulnerability takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to reveal our insecurities.
Barry does an amazing job of questioning whether we really want truth from acting most of the time. There's this sense of its value is to give us truth and to tap into this vulnerability and weakness like we're talking about, but the business of acting is so much not about that.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Great. The plot of Sally really digs into this about what we want to see about women on screen, the truth that women can be weak and vulnerable and many-sided. That's the truth, but what people want in the acting business is this narrative that women are one-dimensionally strong.
It's just another shit male idea of what strong women are. Oh, grab a gun and some stilettos get a goddamn blowout. And look how strong you are now.
And she has to choose between, do I tell the truth as an actor and add that value to the world, or do I succeed in the business of acting by playing into these familiar narratives? And it shows how real acting is so therapeutic. I always come back to that Kiarostami quote, we are not able to look at what's in front of us unless it's inside a frame. And I feel that so much in my own life. If I capture a moment, it somehow takes on this extra life or this extra meaning for me.
That's certainly the role of all of these shows. And it's what we do at The Take, right? Is to how to really connect in a way we're enjoying it and entertained by what we're watching, but we're also feeling something.
Thanks again to Noom for sponsoring today's video. Since you watch this channel, I know you like asking questions and unearthing the why behind everything. Noom is the same way. The program helps you understand the deeper reasons behind your behavior so you can start living your healthiest lifestyle. Whether you're looking to lose weight or want to become a more mindful eater, Noom is a new way to get healthy that uses the psychology of habit change. That's why the sustainable changes they recommend stick. If you're ready to improve your relationship with food and your body, kickstart your motivation, and adopt a better self-care routine, click the link in our description below to check out Noom's free online evaluation quiz.